Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday 22nd July 2025 market review. Let's get straight to the point. We had the day FVG tapped on NQ and ES, YM did not, and it had a SMT on 30 minutes. I mean, it did take the day lows, but it didn't have a day FVG tapped into. Then we had a staircase from Breakout on 1 minute. So here's what the weekly, there's not much to have a look at because it's only 2 days. We'll take a look at the daily. We had that tap into that breaker right there. Tap into that FVG, daily FVG there, and we had a bearish day, and a bullish day on YM. So the YM had the most fluctuation compared to the other two. So let's take a look at the 30 minute. We had a straight drop at 9:30 on NQ after tapping into this 30-minute FVG. We had that on ES as well, but did not tap into any 30-minute FVG. So we were kind of seeing if it wanted to come back and look to take these highs, or maybe come and tap this 30-minute FVG. YM did completely opposite, so it was doing something different. So at 7 o'clock it did the raid into the previous day low and just a small tap into the old previous day low there as well. Then at 9:30 it did the opposite, which is it broke up. So it had a change in state of delivery, and it had a break on the 15 minutes, break on the 30 minutes, and then it had a 30-minute IV FVG which was holding, and we want the last, which is this one, or the first to hold to see if it wants to go long. And its targets were obviously this 9:30 high and this 30-minute FVG. So let's take a look at the minute. So when we had the straight drop all the way from 9:30, it took the previous 30-minute high, had equal highs on ES, so you're more likely to take the ES, and YM we don't even need to look at there. And then it tapped into this day FVG on NQ and ES. We had a 30-minute SMT. Then we were looking for a breaker, and it closed above this FVG right here at 10:07. And on ES we had it retrace back below the low of that FVG, and then we had a breaker, so it's CISD, and then you'd probably take an entry somewhere along here for maybe 1 to 2, because the targets weren't clear because there was no FVGs created except for 15 minutes. But for 30-minute you could just wait until a 30-minute high was likely to be taken there, so you could have held on to that. And then what we saw was, if we carry on going, the breaker of this was supported again. So we had an SMT within that breaker, and so when we had this closure above on this instance here, ES did it earlier because it is a higher SMT, and then it touches the bottom of that, closes above, takes the long, takes these highs out, and then attempts to go for the 9:30 high. So that was 12:41. And then also we had a high impact news at 13:30. Fed Chair Powell speaks. So we can take a look at how that behaved, which is it came and tapped into the breaker of the previous breaker. So taps into it, creates his own breaker, closes above, taps the low, and then when you close above, maybe you want to take that entry to take these highs. All right. And the higher SMT, or the weaker one, was on YM. So you could have said, okay, well, it closed above that previous 30-minute FVG, and these are on the 30-minute SMTs we're looking at. But it's interesting how it was staircasing on the breakers and then when you had a close above, tap below, close above, and then you would take it to this high or this 30-minute FVG high, which was the target. So clear one was on ES where it wanted to go back for the 930 highs because it had the equal highs, and then you would have taken potentially this breaker here, this tap here, and that's pretty much for the day. So yeah, again, summary: we had the staircasing. We had the 30-minute SMT within the daily fair value gap, with the highs not taken of the 930, and YM also breaking structure and creating a change in state of delivery with the 50-minute breaker, 30-minute breaker, and the FVG on the 30-minute, supporting to aim for the highs. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks very much all.